Hello, everybody, and welcome to Perspectives, the home edition still. As you already know, we're in the midst of a roaring pandemic, and I want to talk to you just for a minute or two before you meet our guests. So hang with me. I was in college long before most of you were born, when John Kennedy was president. I was in college when he was assassinated. I also remember the assassination of Bobby Kennedy and the assassination of Martin Luther King. I remembered what followed. But one of the things you didn't hear much about was an action on the part of a small public television station that, I'm sorry, I can't tell you what station or where they're located, but I will never forget what they did. I've been a member of Rogers State Public Television for over 15 years now, and I'm very proud of that fact, and I'm proud of the people I work with. We are in the throes of one of the deadliest events ever in the world. People are dying. The numbers are sky high and climbing, and there doesn't seem to be any real relief in store. And yet there are those leaders out there, those mayors, those city councilors, and yes, our governor, who have refused to issue a mask mandate. Now, I know the mask is not going to solve all of our problems, but it could help slow it, and it could help stop it in some cases. I don't understand that mentality. I remember, though, what that small television station did at the death of John Kennedy and Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy. I remember it well. I remember it was in Time and Look magazine. I remember they covered it. I just remember I could give you the accurate name of the station. Well, Rogers State Public Television is one of the smallest, if not the smallest, public television station in the United States. And given their behavior in the face of the death and the illnesses sweeping our nation, there is a word that they posted on their screen, and it applied to the times. I'm going to bring that word back, and I'm going to do the same thing that they did. And what they did was they put this word up on the screen and left it there for a solid 24 hours. We're not going to do that, but I am going to send a message to all of those folks who have stopped any sort of movement toward a mask mandate. Are you ready? Here now is that word. Now, I want to introduce our guests. We are very blessed to have with us a couple of guys that, quite frankly, I am in awe of because of what they've started, and it shows a lot of promise in this neck of the woods. They represent a group known as AFT-ID. I'll explain that too. First, for a gentleman that you're going to meet is Sean Moore, who is the president of that group, and Danny DeVore, who is the vice president. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate you taking time to be here. The AFT represents, and I'll have to read it because I don't want to get this wrong, Acoustic Freight Train. What is that?
Acoustic Freight Train is the name of our band, actually, and we just capitalized on that name to set up our foundation.
So you guys got together and came up with an incredible idea, and I think it shows a lot of promise. It's called instrument donation. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, that's it. AFT-ID.
Tell us how it works.
We're here today to ask for musical instruments, new or used, and or monetary donations so that we can support the young youth, the young musicians that go to schools that maybe not be able to support or afford a music program. A few months ago, I was given a call. I got a call from a friend of mine who had a drum set that he had inherited from his uncle. He wanted me to find a student that would be in need of that drum set. So I did some search. And in a small hamburger joint in Owasso. I found a young lady. Her daughter, a ninth grader, loved the drums, but they didn't have the financial resources to buy one. So I got permission to give her this drum kit. Thus, AFT started. AFT-ID has gone from there, and it's blowing and going.
That's great. Danny, tell me a little bit about how your role. What are you doing? How are you helping with this?
As the vice president and executive director, my role is I go around to schools, and I go around to these schools and I ask for underprivileged children's names, or I find out what their musical need is. And then I bring that information back to the foundation, and we discuss those opportunities. And then again, we ask for these instruments to come in. And as they come in, my role is to find a recipient for that.
Oh, this is a great concept. Great concept.
I would like to introduce Sean. Thank you.
Great concept. So you're the field hand here, right?
He is all that. He is all that. He is working his, as we say here in Oklahoma, he's working his tail off. He's making this happen. We are looking for board members, Sam. We're looking for individuals with accounting capabilities as well as legal. And he said he's the VP and executive director. He is the current standing executive director. We're looking for an executive director as well.
The man's got rhythm. There's no doubt about it.
He's amazing.
We're taping this on Thursday. We're taping this on Thursday, November 19th. When did you launch?
Well, the story that Danny just told you was from June of this year. It took us a little bit of time to get going. We incorporated in September and formed our board at that same time. We are now incorporated in the state as a nonprofit. We have our EIN number as well, and we're pending our 501c3 status. Anybody who's been through this knows that the IRS takes a little bit more time on that. But that does not preclude us from being able to take the donations, accept the instruments, and it's been overwhelming, Sam, what we have received, the outpouring of support we have. And it's amazing because of the effort, because of this guy behind me, Danny, that's been putting all this into this. We've really been able to find the ability. It's hard for us to keep the inventory, frankly. We have been moving instruments in and out.
What a fantastic idea. And you know as well as I do, there are youngsters out there that want to do this and they don't have access to an instrument.
There is. And we have found, we started out wanting to support the individuals. And one of the things that we found through mostly Danny's efforts is that the schools in Oklahoma, we know their music programs have been hit. We also know that there is a direct correlation between music and attendance. There is a direct correlation between music and graduation rates, a substantial increase when you have music programs in schools. We have schools in and around Tulsa that have unfinished music buildings, who have 37 people in the school program with budgets of $200 for the year, who have one senior in the music program. That is a failing system, and we need to support these kids. And so we are here not just to support the children, not just support our youth and get musicians to enjoy music, but to support the schools, support our future through AFT.
Man, you're right on target. Sean, I want to ask you a couple of questions. If you would step up to the mic there, where I can talk with you just a bit. You
want Danny now, or you want me?
I'm sorry, I want Danny now. I need to get him up close. I misspoke. I got my names crooked there.
Yes, sir.
Danny, you're what? A drummer?
I'm a drummer / I'm a percussionist.
Okay, so that involves anything you hit or throw or play on.
For the most part. Many
lots
years.
of rhythm. Lots of
Yes,
rhythm.
sir.
I know for a fact, because I have a great many musician friends around, that very often they'll see a youngster watch them either in rehearsal. This is prior pandemic, but they'd watch them in rehearsal, or they'd watch, as someone played a piano or practice their drums. And you could just see the longing in their eyes, I want to learn to do that. And there's no way. They don't have access to the instrument, and their families in this day and age couldn't afford one. So I'd love to know who came up with this idea.
I actually started the idea myself. And when I had the success going through my friend Tyler to get that drum set out to our young ninth grader in Owasso, the feelings that I got from that experience, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I had to share it with the group. And when I did, we were all set on fire at that moment.
Oh, it's magic, man. You guys are creating magic. What a great thing to do, because I'll tell you something, is statistically, and there's no way to dispute these figures, statistically, in economic hard times, the first thing to suffer is always going to be an arts program. Always. They cut arts before they cut athletics.
Correct.
Go figure. We got about 30 seconds left before I have to let you gentlemen go. Someone interested in donating an instrument, how do they get in touch with you?
Sean, please.
So the best way to get in touch with us is you can go to AFT-ID.org. That is our website. Once again, it's AFT-ID.org. You can go to AFT-ID Inc. on Facebook. They don't let us have the hyphen, Sam. So you just have to go to AFT-ID Inc. on Facebook. You can message us. You can email us at donate@AFT-ID.org, or you would think I would know this, but I'm going to read it here. Why don't you tell them? You can call Danny directly because Danny's the guy. Danny, what's your phone number?
Call me, 918-998-4792. I'm available.
Don't put it off, folks. Give them a call. Sean, Danny, thank you both, gentlemen, and keep us posted, will you?
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. We appreciate
you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you again. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more. You're going to want to hear it right after this.